Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today's video is going to be a Sephora sale recommendations list. I have talked about a lot of these products several times in the past, but these are all the products from Sephora that I love that I would recommend. I have a couple of these videos. They're a little bit outdated, but I will have them linked for you if you would like to watch them. A few of these are repeats because I feel like the products that I love from Sephora are like the ones that I love. If you're new here, hi, my name is Vivian. I'm a robotics engineer with a love for all things beauty and makeup related, and I'd love it if you like to subscribe if you aren't already. We have a lot of products to get into, so let's just hop into it. Let's first start off with fragrance because that is the least amount of products like per category that I have. I have a few different fragrances here that are my all-time favorites, the one that I always reach for. I'm sure if you've been on my channel for a while, you can guess what they are, but we're going to talk about them anyway because I just love them so much. The first thing is from Commodity. This is the Milk fragrance in the expressive scent space variation. So they have like a personal, an expressive, and a bold. The personal one is much more lightweight. The expressive is like the in-between, and then the bold is like, this is like one of my favorite date night fragrances. I feel like it's just so warm and cozy and gourmand. I believe the notes in here have marshmallow in them as well, so it just feels very warm and sweet, and I really like that for a date night out. I think it's one of my all-time favorites. I know fragrances are so personal and you have to really like test them out to see if they work with your scent, with your body, like pH, pheromones, all that stuff. So this is just what I love. These are the fragrances that I reach for all the time. The next two are both from Maison Margiela. They're the replica fragrances. I have Coffee Break and then I have Beach Walk. Beach Walk is such a beautiful summery fragrance. It definitely reminds me of being on the beach. I also have a little travel size of this that I'm like almost done with. So this is a full size bottle that I purchased because I loved the travel size so much. The description on here says sun-kissed salty skin, but it is just so beautiful, and like, I'm not good at describing fragrances, I'm sorry. I go off of vibes, and this is definitely one of my favorite daytime summer fragrances. I feel like it just makes me feel a little bit warmer, a little bit sunnier, and I love the way this smells. And I think the packaging is just really cute. And then my all-time favorite fragrance that I have talked about for years now, ever since I bought it, is the Coffee Break fragrance from Replica. A lot of the Maison Margiela fragrances are supposed to be unisex. This one specifically is described as male and female, and then the Beach Walk is described as a female fragrance. But the fragrance description here is creamy and cozy coffee, and I agree with that. Like, this is definitely my favorite. This is just my favorite fragrance in general, but I feel like this especially works well for like a date night, for something a little bit more extravagant. I also wear this during the day, do not get me wrong, but the notes in here are just so warm and like a little bit spicy, and just makes me feel like a little bit sexier, if that makes sense. I don't know, something about this fragrance just mixes with my pheromones in a way that I love the way this smells. I've smelled a lot of perfumes in my lifetime, and I just feel like this is my absolute favorite and always has been. It just smells so good, and I highly recommend the Replica fragrances. If you can find a scent that you like, they have a ton of different little variations, and they have like floral ones if you're into that. I know By the Fireplace is like their #1 fragrance. For me, that's like a little bit too smoky for my taste. I prefer something a little bit more sweeter, but they are so nice and they last a really long time on my body. Like, I feel like if I spray it on my clothes, it lingers for days, and if I spray it on my wrists and behind my neck, it lasts all day. So I just love the Replica fragrances. I think the Milk one is also very good, also lasts all day long. Love me some good fragrances. I have a few skincare and body care things here. The first thing I want to talk about is the Skin Fix Eczema Plus Hand Relief Cream. This was sent to me a little bit ago, but this is one of the best hand creams if you have dry, damaged hands. My hands can get really dry. If I like wash my hands with too hot of water, I can definitely like scorch and burn the back of my hand, and then all of these like red, painful, itchy little micro tears show up, and this helped heal that so quickly. This has 1% colloidal oatmeal in it, but it just heals my hands in a way that nothing else has ever done. So I really like this, highly recommend. And it's a little bit big to like carry around all the time, but I will do it because this is the only thing that really helps my hands when my hands get dry and itchy like that. Let's talk about a body care thing. This is from Topicals. This is the High Roller Ingrown Tonic. I mainly use this on my underarms and my private areas, especially when I shave, when I wax. I end up getting a lot of ingrown hairs, and I have found that using this like every day has really helped prevent those ingrown hairs from forming. So I really like this. It comes in like a roll-on applicator, so it's really easy to apply. Whenever I step out of the shower, I just apply this and finish doing the rest of my body care, and I feel like it's really been helping. If you can get it on sale, I definitely recommend it. It's one of my favorite products from Topicals. The next thing I want to mention is this hair oil from Day. This is the Prickly Pear hair oil, and you can see I've used quite a bit of it, which is kind of surprising because I don't use hair oils and products like that much or that often. The hair oil itself is really pretty. It leaves my hair feeling really shiny. It smells amazing, and it's really lightweight. I feel like my hair never gets weighed down from it. The only thing with this is that the packaging is not the best. I don't know what it is, but like the top of this is all oily and gunky. The lid has broken, so I tried to tape it together to like make sure it sticks, and maybe it's because I traveled with it a couple of times, but I haven't traveled with this in a really long time, and just around this lid here you can maybe see how like oily and gunky it is. I've wiped it off several times. Every time I use it I end up having to wipe it off again, but the hair oil itself is really nice. I just kind of wish the packaging was a little bit better, a little bit more fixed. I did use it in my hair today, and I feel like my hair does look very shiny, but it's not weighed down. So I really like the hair oil. The packaging could use some work, but the hair oil is very nice. The next thing I want to mention is this body oil. This is from Caudalie. This is the Smooth and Glow Oil Elixir. This is supposed to be for your body hair and like your neck area. I've only ever used this on my body, specifically my legs. My legs and shins, especially like my knees and shins, are always so much drier than the rest of my body. So I like to put on a body oil, especially after I shave, to kind of lock in any hydration. I've tried a couple different body oils in the past, and this one is my favorite by far. It is really lightweight. It sinks in really quickly. I find that some can leave like that oily, greasy texture on my skin, and I hate that. But this one, it's a drier feeling oil, so it sinks in. I don't feel greasy throughout the day, and it still keeps me really hydrated. The scent of this is fine. It's not my favorite scent in the world, but it's fine. I like it. I haven't used a ton of this, but I've had this for quite a while now. I think since like the last Sephora sale in the fall. I really like it though. I'm a big fan. I think it just absorbs really nicely, and my legs do feel hydrated when I have this on. I have a couple more skincare things here. Two of the products that I'm going to be talking about are sunscreens that I don't currently have in my collection. The first one is the Glossier sunscreen, which is my all-time favorite sunscreen. I love the way this feels. It absorbs so quickly. It's kind of expensive for a sunscreen for how much product you get, but it really just absorbs and doesn't leave an oily residue and doesn't make me feel oily throughout the day. As you guys know, I do have an oily skin type. I do feel like a lot of sunscreens are like very glowy, have those like pearls in them that just make my skin feel oily throughout the day. This one leaves my skin feeling hydrated. It's like a gel texture, so it absorbs really quickly and it doesn't leave my face feeling oily, which I really love. The other sunscreen that I want to talk about is the Inkey List Polyglutamic. They claim it's a dewy sunscreen. It's not a dewy sunscreen. It is very much just like a cream sunscreen. Not dewy, not matte either. I would say it's just like a skin-like finish. It feels like a moisturizer. It blends in like a moisturizer. There's no white cast whatsoever, and again, doesn't make me feel oily throughout the day. This one is less expensive. I think this is like $15 from the Inky List, so if you get it during the Sephora sale, it'll be even cheaper. I have finished up a full size of that sunscreen, and I've finished up my Glossier sunscreen as well, which is why I don't have them in my collection to show you. But really good sunscreens, especially getting into summer now. I definitely want to make sure I am getting more use out of all the sunscreens in my collection. I have a lot of sunscreens that I need to work my way through, so I'm not gonna repurchase any of them right now, but I want to. They're my favorite sunscreens. They're the best sunscreens I've tried in a really long time. And the last two things that I want to recommend are from Dew. So I think Dew posted something that said that like the French pronunciation is like Dieu, but they just say Dew because it's an American brand. I have the Air Angel Hydrating Gel Cream here, and I also have the Reviving Eye Gel. So Dew used to be only available on their website, but they recently moved to Sephora. I think these products are so good. The eye cream leaves my under eyes feeling really plump, hydrated, feels really nice on my skin. They also have their reusable eye masks. They've changed the packaging, but they have the reusable eye masks that I also really like. And just this combo together always makes me feel very luxurious, makes me feel also very hydrated, and really like them. They also sell refills, I believe. So if you ever finish the product, you can just buy a refill instead of picking up the whole thing. I don't know if that's available on Sephora, but I know the Dew website has refills. And then the Hydrating Gel Cream Moisturizer, again, just feels really lightweight. It sinks into my skin really nicely. It never makes me feel super oily throughout the day. I know that they have a different moisturizer that comes in like those metal tubes, and I want to try that, but I think that'd be a little bit too heavy for my skin. I think this one is like right up my alley. It's hydrating and it still feels thick, but not too thick where I feel oily. Also love the packaging of Dew in general. I think their packaging is so pretty, heavy feeling and luxurious feeling. The cap has a nice like click to it. The packaging is like this tin bottle for both of them. They're just really good products. I find myself reaching for these more often than not. I just really like them, and I think they're really good, and they're really expensive, so if you can get them on sale during the Sephora sale, definitely do that. I would recommend checking out their website too when the Sephora sale starts, just because a lot of brands will like either match or honestly beat the Sephora sale, because the Sephora sale you really only get 10, 15, or 20% depending on the tier that you are, and if you are like just like a Beauty Insider member, the website might have a better deal for you. I would recommend that for all of these products, but I know that Dew has some really good bundles as well, so highly recommend checking out the website. And the last thing I have here are all of the makeup items. I did try to use all of them on my face today, so I will be inserting clips of me applying the products as I'm talking about them, and I figured we could just go in order of application. Let's talk about this first. This is the Summer Fridays Sheer Skin Tint. I have mine in the shade 4. This is my all-time favorite skin tint. It does exactly what I want it to do. It evens out my skin tone. It makes my skin feel hydrated. It doesn't cling to any dry patches. I feel like a lot of skin tints can tend to look really dewy, and because my skin is so oily, I don't love that, and this sets down completely. It feels so nice on my skin. It has a really good coverage depending on my mood, depending on the vibes I'm going for. If I want a little bit more full coverage, I'll go in with the brush, but honestly I'll also just use my hands to blend it out, and that seems to work really well. The shade 4 is also a really good shade match for me. It's a lighter coverage product, so you really can't go that wrong with the shade match, but the shade 4 like matches my neck absolutely perfectly. Love this, highly recommend. When I finish this, I am gonna repurchase it. It's just one of my all-time favorite complexion products, hands down, but it is my favorite like skin tint type product. I feel like it just does everything that I want it to do. My skin doesn't feel oily throughout the day. It is literally just perfect for my oily skin. The one concealer that I want to talk about is the Tower 28. I think it's called their like Swipe On Serum Concealer. I could be wrong, but I have mine in the shade MDR. This concealer is also so good. It's very hydrating. It's a good medium coverage. It blends so seamlessly. The shade MDR is a really good shade match for me as well. I am wearing it today. I feel like my under eyes look nice and hydrated. It doesn't sink into my fine lines. It is one of the best concealers. It's better than the Kosas concealer. It's better than all of my like high-end concealers that I love. Chef's kiss. The packaging is also really beautiful. Tower 28 has really good ingredients, like sensitive skin friendly. Not that I have sensitive skin, but if you are concerned about that, definitely check out Tower 28 as a brand. I have so many favorites from Tower 28, which you will see we will get into. Again, I would recommend checking out their website during the sale because they might have better deals and they might have better bundles. I know that I've gotten quite a few things from Tower 28's website itself that like usually is on a better discount than the Sephora sale. Let's talk about contours and bronzers. The first thing I want to mention is the Milk Makeup Sculpt Stick in the shade Stoked. I believe this is their third deepest shade, so a little bit deeper, but it is really creamy. It blends out really easily. I love this tone. I feel like it is a really good like neutral cool tone for me. Again, it blends out really easily. So even though it looks quite dark, when you blend it out as like a contour, just adds the perfect amount of like shaped to my face. The other thing I want to bring up is the Makeup by Mario Soft Sculpt Transforming Skin Enhancer in the shade Medium. Again, this has been like super viral for a really good reason. This product, you can never go overboard with it. It blends out so easily. You can apply it with a sponge, with a brush, with your fingers. It always just ends up looking really good. I truly feel like this is one of the best bronzers for no makeup. Like it always just looks really good and really natural on your skin. The finish of it is also a nice like satin finish. It's not too dewy, which some of the other products that I'm going to talk about can be. Just one of the best bronzing products out there. I will say that the tone of this can be just a tiny bit orange for me, but that is just because my olive skin just like, I feel like my olive skin just emphasizes how orange bronzers can be, but I still think it's a beautiful product. Like I said, it's a pretty lightweight product, so you're not going to get a ton of pigment out of it, and because of that, even though it is a little bit more orange, I still feel like it works really well with my skin tone. I have a few different blushes here. The first one is the Milk Makeup Cooling Water Jelly Tint. So this I have in the shade Chill. This has been a viral product recently, and for good reason. I feel like this is the most innovative product we've seen in the market for a really long time. It is really lightweight. The texture of it is really fun and like really jelly-like. When I first tried this on, I didn't love the look of it on my lips, but I do like it a little bit more now. I feel like I can go overboard with it on my lips, but if I just do like one swipe, I like that color and I like that tint. It also lasts really well. The only thing you have to be careful of with this product is that it is a stain. It is like water jelly based, so it's gonna set immediately. I would not recommend swiping this directly on your face. I would definitely recommend putting it on a brush and having a little bit more control with it. I still think it builds beautifully. It's nice and sheer and it stains really well, so it'll last you all day. I really like the shade Chill as well. I think it's really pretty, very reminiscent of the Benefit Benetint, but just more fun. I think the packaging is really cute. I think the texture of it is really fun, and if you want something to just kind of add to your makeup routine, I think this is a great product. You definitely don't need this product, and for some people I can understand why people would say it's like gimmicky, but when there's such a saturated market, I feel like anything that brings me like extra joy in terms of formula, in terms of uniqueness, deserves the hype. A more standard recommendation is the Tower 28 Beach Please blushes. I have this one in the shade Power Hour. It is a very deep, kind of brownie red. I really like this. I think it is beautiful for summer. I feel like it's gonna give me that like sunburnt cheeks effect that I love so much. I think the Tower 28 formula is amazing. I also have their Bronzino and their Sculptino. You can see the Bronzino has like a massive pan in it. Their Sculptino is still pretty new to me, but The formulas of all of these are pretty much the same, just with different pigments and different levels of like shininess to them. I will say that they are pretty emollient, so this is something that I need to set down with like a powder on top, but these are beautiful. They blend really easily. I reach for these most in the summer when I want a more dewy look. They have really good pigmentation to them, and because of that I don't find that they like completely fade by the end of the day, so they have a pretty good staying power as well. I just love these formulas. I love the shades of these. In the Bronzino I have the shade West Coast, and in the Sculptino I have the shade Hammer. The Bronzino is one of my all-time favorite bronzers, especially in the summer. I don't talk about it that much, and I don't think it gets a lot of rave like in the beauty space, but it's one of my absolute favorites. It is shimmery, so you do have to enjoy a shimmery bronzer, but the tone of this is really pretty. It's a little bit more of a red undertone than like an orange bronzer undertone, so I feel like in the summer this just makes me feel sun-kissed and amazing. So I recommend all of these formulas, and they also have a ton of different shades of the blushes. They have like a cool tone pink that I kind of want to pick up. They have all of these pretty like oranges and normal blush tones as well. They're just really good. The Sculptino also comes in 4 shades, I believe. I only have one highlighter I want to mention, and that is from Merit. This is the Day Glow. I have mine in the shade Citrine. This is one of the prettiest no makeup highlighters. I feel like the formula of this is so beautiful. It blends out like a dream. It is very emollient, so it just like melts onto your skin. I like the shade of this as well. They do have other shades of this, so if this looks a little bit too intense for you, they have like a lighter one. When you blend it out though, it just leaves this beautiful glow to your face. I think this is one of the best cream highlighters out there, especially the ones that are at Sephora that are more expensive. I don't wear highlighter a ton, so I feel like if I am recommending a highlighter, I feel like that's saying something. I just love the shade of this. It's one of my favorite cream highlighters, and I don't feel like it picks out my makeup underneath. I have 2 different powders here. I will give you 3 guesses as to which ones they are, because I talk about them non-stop. The first one is from Amicole. This is their Skin Melt Loose Powder. I have this in the translucent shade. Besides the formula of the powder itself, one of the things that I love about this is that it has a lid. That's so nice, makes it so much easier to travel with. I just think this is a great powder. It makes everything just look so smooth and evened out. I use this on my under eyes, and my under eyes look great. I think this is just one of the best loose powders on the market. It also doesn't feel too powdery, so if you have dry skin, I still think you're gonna like this. The texture of it is so lightweight. Like when you put it on your skin just feels so smooth. Really like this. I think they have a deeper shade as well. It just blanks out your face. Like all the pores just disappear. It mattifies nicely. It lasts throughout the day. I never feel like I'm too oily throughout the day. And the next powder is my Huda Beauty Easy Bake Loose Powder in the Cherry Blossom Cake shade. This is also so beautiful. It's so finely milled. It's a little bit of a heavier powder, so it can look a little bit cakey if you're using too much of it, but I love the way that this mattifies my skin. I love using it on my under eyes to brighten up a little bit. I usually just pick up a little bit with a sponge and then tap the excess in the lid, because like I mentioned, some of these loose powders that have the mesh can get really messy. This one is one of them that can get really messy, and if I pick it up on a little makeup puff and don't tap it out, I end up with too much powder and I can look a little bit flat. It also blanks out your skin. The pink tint just brightens up a little bit more. I highly recommend the powder. I'm even considering picking up a more like skin tone shade, but I have a lot of powders in my collection, so I'm probably not going to do that. But these 2 powders, top tier. I forgot about a blush, so let's go back. The blush that I want to talk about is from Gucci. This is their blush debut in the shade 05 Rosy Beige. So this is a splurge. I don't think I needed to pick up this blush, to be honest. I definitely don't need to pick up any blushes, but I do think it's really pretty. It feels really luxurious. The packaging is really pretty. I don't think the formula is like that special, okay? I feel like this is a very kind of basic formula. It's pretty, don't get me wrong, but there's nothing special about it. I do feel like it has like a little bit of a luminosity to it, but is it worth like the $50 that it is? Maybe not. If you do want a splurge, if you want to pick up a nice little gift for someone, I do think it's pretty and I think they'd enjoy it. It definitely feels luxurious and looks luxurious and it makes me happy, but I don't think the formula itself is like the end all be all, if that makes sense. Like, I'm still gonna use it. I still love using it, but do I necessarily think that it's better than any of my other powder blushes? No. The formula of this honestly really reminds me of my Essence the blush formula, but you know, this is in prettier packaging and it just looks really, really nice. It's really, really cute. The next thing I want to mention is my Freck Noir that I use for my fake freckles, and truly just such a fun product. I love the look of fake freckles. I love them in the summer. I feel like it just adds to the vibes. I love like a lightweight summery spring makeup look, and I feel like adding faux freckles always contributes to that. Even if I don't want to wear faux freckles everywhere, I still use this quite often to just emphasize my beauty marks that I currently already have, especially when I put like foundation over it and I want to bring those beauty marks back. I just put a little bit of this on top and then just like tap out any of the excess. I think it's a great product. They have two different shades of it. This is the Freck Noir, so the darker shade of it, but if you're a little bit more pale, if you just have lighter freckles in general, they do have a lighter shade. They also have like a mini size of it, but honestly it's like tiny and not worth it because the full size of it is like a couple dollars more. I have a couple of eye things here, eye toppers. The first one is from Danessa Myricks. This is the Twin Flames multi-chrome pigment for eyes and face in the shade Angel Heart. The way that I almost exclusively wear this is as an inner corner highlight. It's what I have on today. It just has this really pretty pink reflect to it. When you shift, I feel like it completely disappears, but when you look directly on, it's just pink and a little bit more fun. I love this. I love that look. I love like a fun little inner corner moment without looking too intense. So usually I'll just dab a little bit on the inner corner and then just use my finger to tap it out. Danessa Myricks is really, really innovative with her products. I feel like she has so many releases that are not like anything else on the market, and I really admire her for that. I feel like that's an amazing thing to do. I think Danessa Myricks kills it with this product, with a lot of her products. I really, really like this. Highly recommend. The next thing I want to talk about is this from Makeup by Mario. This is the Master Crystal Reflector. This is technically a highlighter, but I use this as an eyeshadow topper. I did put a little bit of this on today as well, and I feel like it just leaves a really pretty but really subtle shimmery glitter effect on the eyes. I like the tone of this as well. I feel like it matches my actual like skin color on my eyes pretty easily, or pretty well, so I feel like you can't really tell I'm wearing a ton unless you're directly looking. I know he has a couple other shades of this. I think these are stunning products. They're not new. They have been out for quite a while now, but it's one of the products that I consistently reach for when I want just like a single shadow eyeshadow topper on my eyes. The last couple things here are all lip products. So the first thing that I want to mention that I also feel like I've been talking about a ton lately is the Tower 28 Shine On Lip Jelly, but specifically in the shade Spicy. The formula of these glosses is chef's kiss. So good. So good. So if you don't want a bright color like this, all of their like milky shades are also beautiful. This, however, there's just something about this that makes me so happy. It's bright without being too bright. It's really easy. It's really shiny. It's really comfortable. And I love the way that this looks on my lips. I just think it's so pretty and it's so comfortable on the lips. One thing about this, with just how like bold the color is, it can be a little bit difficult to apply with just the the wand itself. So usually I'll apply a little bit on my lower lips. I'll have to like rub it around a little bit and then use my fingers to like fully blend it out. It's such a beautiful gloss. Highly recommend. Highly recommend all of the Tower 28 lip jellies. They're all really good, but the shade Spicy is one of my favorites for sure. Then these two products I feel like are very similar. I'll talk about this one first because I have raved about these for literally years at this point. This is the Summer Fridays Lip Butter Balm. This one specifically is a mini in the shade Brown Sugar. Summer Fridays sometimes does these like little mini kits. Highly recommend those because you get a ton of different shades and the lip balms last a really long time. So even though they're minis, I think they're maybe more worth it than buying like every single full size because I have been working on one for a while and I'm almost done with it. It has been my go-to for like 3 years and it's still going strong. I love the shade Brown Sugar specifically. It smells so good. It smells exactly like brown sugar. I love the way this smells. It feels so plump and hydrating on my lips. It's a little bit thicker of a formula, but the shine is so beautiful. The tints are so beautiful. I love the Summer Friday Lip Butter Balms and I'll just leave it at that because I talk about them all the time. And the last product I want to mention is actually this one from Tower 28. This is the Lip Softy. This is a newer release from Tower 28 and this is in the shade Ube Vanilla. Also smells amazing. Also feels amazing. Nice and glossy and smooth. The tint is beautiful. Very similar in tints. Very similar in tints to the Summer Friday Lip Butter Balm in Brown Sugar. They're very comparable. I feel like if you have one, you don't need the other one. The more that I've used this, the more that I've grown to love this because it is one of the only thinner formula lip balms that actually hydrates my lips. I have perpetually dry, cracked lips. It always happens. And the one reason why I love the Summer Friday ones so much is because they're super thick and hydrating and they feel really nice and they stay a really long time. These ones, hydrating, beautiful, stays on my lips a really long time, but the formula is thinner. So I have really come around to these. I think these are a great formula. One of the only lip balm formulas that are thinner that I truly like because it just lasts a really long time and it's so lightweight on my lips and I love the tint and I honestly kind of like the little like tube packaging like this as well, like the rounded tip. I don't know, something about it feels very nostalgic. I really like it and I really come around to these Tower 28 lip softies. So if you're like me, if you have really dry cracked lips all the time, try them. I feel like they just leave my lips feeling so soft, so plush. Also, a thin formula. It's not going to get gloopy. The tint is beautiful. Just one of the best like lip balm formulas I've tried that is thin. That is everything. I feel like this is a very long video. I really just like a lot of these products. I think that they're all really good. I feel like I use them more often than a lot of the other products that are in my collection and really just good products. I do have other favorites, but I tried to stick to products you could only get at Sephora or on the brand like individual website. I tried to not cross over with products you could get at Ulta because sometimes I feel like Ulta has better sales. I love all these products. I think they're all really good. I'm excited for the Sephora sale. I am gonna have a video, like a shop with me video, coming up soon. This video is actually gonna go up before my normal video that's like the second video of the month. So usually I'll have my shop my stash video after my project pan, but because the Sephora sale is coming up, I'm gonna rearrange just a little bit. So this video will be up, then my shop my stash, and then I will have my shop with me for the Sephora sale after that. I hope you guys enjoy this video. If you guys see any of your favorites, let me know. If you guys have holy grails from Sephora that you think I need to try out, please let me know down in the comments. I would love to check them out. I would love to see what else is out there. So I hope you guys are having a great day. Thank you guys so much for watching. I love you guys and I will see you guys in my next one. Bye!